Congressional leaders assure the passage of the proposed Bangsamoro Basic Law before the end of 2014. An agreement on this was reached during a meeting of lawmakers led by Senate President Franklin Drilon and Speaker Sonny Belmonte. Freddie Abando with the full story.
Top leaders of Congress, led by Speaker Feliciano Belmonte and Senate President Franklin Drilon, agreed to push a common legislative agenda for the 16th Congress. There were more than 30 priority bills which are now pending for consideration in both houses, some of which were approved in the 15th Congress but not signed into law by the President. Belmonte and Drilon agreed to conduct monthly consultations to review the status of each bill. The list will be submitted to the President in a LEDAC meeting to be convened in Malacanang.
The House and the Senate will be working closely together in this Congress in order that all the priority legislation will be enacted and passed.
Talagang ito gusto namin gawin ito na magkausapan kami palagi on a regular basis para maging really productive. Hindi yung iba yung pinasanla, iba yung pinasa namin, and then we have a hard time having a common agenda.
We will prioritize not only the most urgent bills, not only those that will have the most impact on our economy and for our people, but also those that have a good chance of passing both houses of Congress. No?
The passage of the bill that will create the Bangsamoro entity is of top priority. Timetable is year-end of 2014. Drilon relayed the news to members of the Transition Commission that visited him to win support from the Senate to fast-track the approval of the measure. The Transition Commission, tasked by the President, is mandated to craft the draft of the said bill, which will contain the provisions of the agreement signed by the government and MILF panels in Kuala Lumpur. These include the annexes on power and wealth sharing, the normalization process, and the areas to be covered by the new Bangsamoro entity, which will replace the autonomous region of Muslim Mindanao. A referendum will be scheduled for 2015 to give the people areas to be covered by the Bangsamoro entity to vote for inclusion or exclusion. Both leaders agreed no amendments of the Constitution is needed to implement the terms of the peace agreement expected to be signed in May of this year.
On top of our list is the Bangsamoro Basic Law, which both houses have committed to pass before the year is over. We're not talking here about how it will look like.
Yung Bangsamoro, we are being assured that walang chapter change involved.
Assuming they can submit it within the next 45 days, we're giving ourselves until the end of the year. We're not guaranteeing that all of the annexes and all of the parameters they agreed upon will be passed. But in good faith, no, we will try. And as long as walang unconstitutional doon, at as long as it will be a fair deal, no, for all Filipinos.
For the People's Television Network, this is Freddie Abando reporting.